live TV and on demand. All together, all in one place for you to enjoy.
It's whatever kind of adventure we want it to be.
Get it all with Spectrum TV.
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
Spectrum News Plus. Local stories, connecting communities. Streaming now on the Spectrum News app and free with your Spectrum subscription.
Hello, I'm Robert Guadarrama. Here is your Spectrum News in 90. Charges against the man accused of shooting 2 National Guard members have been upgraded to first-degree murder after one of the soldiers died. President Trump announced Thursday that Specialist Sarah Beckstrom passed away from her injuries. Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf remains in critical condition. Federal prosecutors say more charges are expected to come, and the DOJ is considering the death penalty.
It's just an absolutely absurd thing what happened to Sarah. She's a brave American hero, and I know that everything I've heard about her is just incredible.
President Trump says his administration is working to permanently pause immigration from all third world countries, though it's unclear which countries he's referring to. The administration is also looking into whether to deport the suspect's family. The gunman is an Afghan national who first came to the U.S. in 2021, shortly after the U.S. withdrew from Kabul. The Federal Aviation Administration is preparing for a busy travel weekend following the Thanksgiving holiday. The agency expects Sunday to be the busiest travel day and could set new records for passenger screenings. But a cross-country storm could cause some major delays, snow in the Midwest, heavy rain in the Southeast. And that's your Spectrum News in 90.
I'm meteorologist Nate Harrington. As we look at the big picture heading into the last weekend of the month of November, one winter storm moves out, another moves in, and big time impacts from the Midwest to the East Coast on what is the busiest travel weekend of the year. A lot of messy conditions to take into account. Winter weather then persists into next week. We'll talk all about it in your forecast coming up.
An alleged gunman facing new charges Friday as a National Guardsman fights for his life following a shooting in Washington, D.C. earlier this week. The suspect, an Afghan national, is now facing first-degree murder charges after the other Guard member, Specialist Sarah Beckstrom, passed away from her injuries Thursday. President Donald Trump is promising to intensify the administration's crackdown on immigration. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Robert Guadarrama. A memorial honoring the 2 soldiers is growing in downtown D.C. And it comes as federal investigators are combing through evidence, searching for a motive behind what the president calls a terror attack. Our Karina Capabianca is in Washington with more, including new details on the life of Specialist Sarah Beckstrom.
Officials say this is the man who allegedly ambushed 2 members of the National Guard on Wednesday afternoon. 29-year-old Raman Al-Lakanwal is facing multiple charges, including first-degree murder and assault with intent to kill while armed.
There are certainly many more charges to come, but we are upgrading the initial charges of assault to murder in the first degree.
The shooting occurred just 2 blocks from the White House on Thanksgiving night after it was announced that 20-year-old U.S. Army Specialist Sarah Beckstrom had died from her wounds. Local and federal law enforcement lined the streets for the dignified transfer of her body from the hospital.
It's just an absolutely absurd thing what happened to Sarah. She's a brave American hero, and I know that everything I've heard about her is just incredible. People loved her, they respected her, and obviously she was doing a great service for the state and for the country.
Beckstrom and the other National Guard Guard member who was shot, 24-year-old Andrew Wolf, were from West Virginia, part of President Donald Trump's controversial deployment of the Guard to combat crime in the nation's capital.
Andrew's went to Musselman High School from the Eastern Panhandle near Martinsburg. His classmates, his teachers, his counselors, his principal, his family have all been reaching out and trying to comfort one another.
The alleged gunman is an Afghan national who had worked with the CIA as part of the U.S. war against the Taliban. He came to the U.S. in 2021 through a program allowing vulnerable Afghans to resettle here. His asylum was granted this year. President Trump says he is considering deporting the suspect's wife and children.
We're looking at that right now. We're looking at the whole situation with family. It's a tragic situation.
Here at the scene of the shooting, a makeshift memorial has been created to honor the victims with American flags and flowers. The governor of West Virginia also ordered a statewide moment of silence Friday and for flags to be flown at half-staff. In Washington, Karina Capabianca, Spectrum News.
Developing Friday evening, the State Department has paused visa issuance for people traveling on Afghan passports. The move comes as the president is promising a crackdown on immigration following the shooting. As our Taylor Popolars reports, the president is also reviewing asylum cases as well as some green card recipients.
There aren't too many coming.
Just before midnight on Thanksgiving, President Donald Trump posted a major announcement on his Truth Social platform. I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the U.S. system to fully recover, he wrote, adding that he plans to remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States or is incapable of loving our country, and claiming that only reverse migration can fully cure this situation. It was in response to the death of one of the two National Guard members allegedly shot by an Afghan refugee near the White House Wednesday.
The monster that did this is also in serious condition, but we won't even talk about him.
That's what the president said about the suspect, 29-year-old Ramanallah Lochinwal. He has been living in the U.S. since 2021 under a resettlement program for people who fled Afghanistan when U.S. troops withdrew and the Taliban took power. Roughly 190,000 Afghans were vetted and led into America through the program. The Trump administration says the suspect had worked with the CIA in Afghanistan. Top administration officials accused the Joe Biden administration of failing to properly screen the suspect and others who entered.
So let's stop namby-pambing around with this, oh, he was vetted. There was no vetted. The welcome mat was thrown down.
But reported records show the suspect was granted asylum in April, 3 months after President Trump's inauguration. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services announced Wednesday night that the processing of all immigration requests relating to Afghan nationals is stopped indefinitely. The agency's director posted Thursday that he is starting a full-scale, rigorous re-examination of every green card for every alien from every country of concern, which the administration says is a list of 19 poorer nations. The Wall Street Journal editorial board urged caution Friday, writing, "It would be a shame if this single act of betrayal became the excuse for deporting all Afghan refugees in the U.S." President Trump said in his social media post that he would pursue deporting any foreign national who is, quote, non-compatible with Western civilization. He said he would end federal benefits for non-citizens and denaturalize migrants who undermine, quote, domestic tranquility. It's unclear what type of legal pushback he'll face, but there are roughly 50 million foreign-born residents in the U.S. Reporting in Washington, Taylor Popolars, Spectrum News.
President Trump is aiming to nullify orders signed using an auto pen by former President Joe Biden. In a post on social media Friday, the president says any document signed using auto pen by Biden is, quote, hereby terminated and of no further force or effect. However, it's unclear whether a sitting president has that authority over a move like this. President Trump and Republicans have made baseless claims that orders were signed using auto pen without President Biden's knowledge. The former president has previously denied this. Presidents, including President Trump, have used auto pen devices to sign documents for decades. The post-Thanksgiving travel period is underway, and federal officials are expecting busy airports. How the weather could impact travel plans just ahead.
Spectrum Noticias, we recognize that our community is vibrant and diverse.
Spectrum Noticias delivers balanced coverage of the stories that matter in our communities and across the country.
Our journalists are based in the neighborhoods we cover, ensuring you get in-depth reporting on what's happening in the places we call home.
So join us at Spectrum Noticias. We're always on, always there for you.
Now available on your TV. Check your local listings. Also available on the Spectrum News app.
Spectrum TV, isn't that only live TV?
No, it's only all my favorite streaming apps with live TV.
Okay.
It's only all included at no extra cost, and that's the magic of math. Will this be on the test? Sure, why not?
It's only one simple payment for all our TV. We gotta simplify and win. Winning is equally important.
If not, more so.
Yeah!
Only Spectrum TV, fixed TV.
Being a cowboy, well, I don't know anything different. I had a very successful career. Life was fast. I was preparing physically. I wasn't doing anything mentally. And then I got hurt. I dug into mental health. I wanted to be better as a person. I start my day with a workout. I live life 8 seconds at a time. Find a place to stop and just breathe. Love your mind.
I'm Sandra, this is Jorge, and we were adopted in 2019. I remember when they first came to us, Michael was already a teenager. The whole cliche of they're so lucky to have you guys, and it's the other way around. They have changed our family for the better. They chose to love us. They didn't have to. They chose us. Family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Spectrum News. It's your weather on the ones. A very chilly day after Thanksgiving for Friday. Highs in the 20s in the upper Midwest, 30s in the Great Lakes states. How about highs in the 40s as far south as Atlanta, and folks down in Florida feeling a little bit of chill in the air with highs in the 60s in Orlando. Winter weather is going to be the big story, and it was over the last several days. Wednesday, Thursday, and on Friday, this winter storm that continues to exit the north and east brought heavy snowfall to portions of the Great Lakes states and the north and east, and even blizzard conditions for folks along the Great Lakes as well. Now, our second winter storm in just a few days is going to take shape across the Rockies and into the Midwest during the overnight hours, and by Saturday early morning through Sunday, big time impacts are going to be possible. Right now, winter weather alerts are in effect from Montana all the way across the northern tier of states, and you've got lake effect snow advisories and winter storm warnings as far east as upstate New York. A big chunk of the Midwest, including places like Chicago and Milwaukee, Detroit, Michigan, Minneapolis, Minnesota, St. Louis, Indianapolis, have some sort of winter weather alert in effect. We're expecting some pretty heavy snowfall too. The snowfall will pile up, and the area of low pressure responsible for all this active weather will be a little bit farther south than the one that we had to deal with on Wednesday. So a little bit different flavor here, but you get the picture. Plenty of snowfall for the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes states, and the Ohio River Valley. And we could even see some severe weather along the Gulf Coast states as we go through Saturday. So a lot to keep track of as we round out the month of November. Temperatures, again, will be very cold across the northern tier with highs only in the 20s and 30s. A little bit milder, though, as we work our way down south with temperatures coming up there. We'll talk more about the winter weather impacts next week, too, coming up.
Here's a look at what you need to know. Charges against the man accused of shooting 2 National Guard members have been upgraded to first-degree murder. Federal prosecutors say more charges are expected to come, and the DOJ is considering the death penalty. Snow, rain, and cold weather awaits holiday travelers for the rest of the holiday weekend. Storm warnings were posted Friday across the northern part of the country, and more snowfall over the Great Lakes region. The FAA expects Sunday to be the busiest travel day. And that's what you need to know. The post-Thanksgiving travel rush is underway as the Federal Aviation Administration gears up for a busy weekend. But an early winter storm could cause major disruptions. Our Chris Welch has a look at what you need to know.
These kinds of scenes, snowy conditions and slick roadways, are the very last things travelers want to see as they head back home after the Thanksgiving holiday. Cars in the ditch and hampered visibility near Syracuse, New York. And more than 10 inches of snow fell here in Lowville, New York. But the impacts could be felt in parts of Michigan, as well as in Ohio and Pennsylvania.
Our first winter storm moved through the Great Lakes and into the north and east Wednesday, Thanksgiving, and now on Friday, bringing snow and even blizzard-like conditions.
But as Spectrum meteorologist Nathan Harrington points out, this is just the first system. A second and even more powerful storm moving through the Rockies Friday will become a full-blown cross-country storm lingering through the weekend.
The track of this secondary storm will be a little bit different, mainly targeting areas farther to the south. Heavy snow in the upper Midwest. We could have severe weather as far south as the Gulf Coast states.
All this on one of the busiest travel weekends of the entire year.
The Sunday after Thanksgiving, traditionally the busiest single day of the year. They're going to screen some 3 million people at TSA on the Sunday after Thanksgiving, so it's going to be really busy.
Come Monday, heavy snow could be piled up all the way from the Rockies to the Northeast, with the heaviest accumulations expected in the Midwest.
Folks in Chicago could see anywhere from 6 to 8 inches of new snow.
In New York, Chris Welch, Spectrum News.
Consumer confidence is down in the wake of a federal government shutdown paired with slow hiring and stubborn inflation. But that isn't stopping shoppers from taking advantage of a weekend filled with seasonal deals. Spectrum's Alex Cohen joins me now with a look at how Black Friday is playing out in 2025. Alex, stores opened extra early Friday morning. The online deals are live. I've been doing a little bit of shopping on, if I do say so for myself. A few questions for you, Alex. Did shoppers flock to stores, and are tariffs having an impact on Black Friday turnout?
Yes, shoppers are flocking to stores, and what they're finding overall is that, yes, things are costing more here in 2025. You probably knew that already, but let's look at some data from the marketing firm Circana, which found that 40% of all general merchandise saw a price increase of at least 5% compared with the first few months of this year, especially things like toys, baby products, housewares, and team sports equipment have seen higher prices because of tariffs in China. But Americans love to shop, especially this time of year. It's a tradition. And what we're seeing this year is, yes, there are people in the stores, but a lot more people are doing their shopping online this Black Friday. A shopper spent 5% more this Thanksgiving than the previous one, a total of $6.4 billion yesterday alone. And of course, the deals don't stop there. Tomorrow we've got Small Business Saturday, and then on Monday, Cyber Monday.
Plenty of opportunities to get a deal. Alex, technology has truly reshaped how we shop. You mentioned there Cyber Monday, a lot of shoppers planning for that. What impact is artificial intelligence having on consumer spending?
It's really changing the game in so many ways. Artificial intelligence is driving shoppers to certain retailers. Apparently, this year, the firm Adobe found that AI traffic to U.S. retail sites this Thanksgiving increased by 725% compared to last year. And what they've seen is that more than half of the total AI visits are more likely to convert into actual sales for retailers. All this makes AI sound really great, but of course, this is a double-edged sword, both for retailers and shoppers alike. Companies see the great promise of more customers, but now they really have to think their marketing and their e-commerce strategies. And on the consumer end of things, sure, you can plug into a chatbot and compare different deals, find exactly that item that you are looking for, But there's also the fact that more use and reliance of AI, or what is known as agentic shopping, could really open consumers up to fraud. According to the firm Breitbart, there has been a 200% increase in agentic shopping over the past year. And in that same amount of time, there has been a 10-fold increase in fraud. So do your shopping, but be very careful how you do it.
Yeah, good warning. All right. Alex Cohen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Amazon is using AI-powered robots to help workers during the holiday rush. How they are driving faster deliveries, just ahead.
The stories that touch our border affect us all. That's why at Spectrum News Plus, we don't just cover these communities. Our dedicated reporting team also calls them home. That perspective allows us to take an in-depth look, going beyond the politics, to see the impact on people's lives and what it means for you and your community. Balanced border coverage that tells the full story here on Spectrum News Plus. Available on all your favorite devices, exclusively on Spectrum.
It's only a game. It's only a little rivalry. It's only a ritual. When I come home and a few generations. You're always there. And only Spectrum TV includes all your favorite streaming apps with live TV at no extra cost. It's only a game. It's only everything.
What are you doing in there?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Mom was always organized, but she started forgetting to pay her bills on time.
And she'd buy the same gifts over and over.
Telling the girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was really hard.
At first we had our cries, but then we were like, okay, let's make a plan.
Early detection gave us time to adapt together.
It's so important for you to think about what you can do and making the most of what you have.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Spectrum News. It's your weather on the ones. The last weekend of the month of November marks the end of the 2025 hurricane season, and thankfully, nothing out there to get too excited about. And as far as I'm concerned, we can close the book on the 2025 hurricane season unless something very bizarre happens during the month of December. But those kind of events are very, very few and far between. A little closer to home, it's all about winter weather. We talked about the winter storm taking shape through the Midwest on Saturday, I should say. On Sunday, the busiest travel day of the year. Up and down the East Coast, it's going to be snow for the New England states and Northeast. It will be rain across the I-95 corridor. Now, thankfully, we don't expect the kind of major impacts of folks in the Midwest will see. We're not going to see as much snow. We're not going to see the severe weather potential on Sunday. We're just going to say tricky travel at best. And the wintertime weather doesn't stop there. Monday into Tuesday, another storm system takes shape across the Midwest, will impact folks from the southern states all the way up and down the East Coast from Monday night into Tuesday. More heavy rainfall and more snow is going to be expected. Now, the snowfall from Saturday to Sunday to Monday, look how big of an area that we take up here. Like we said, those winter weather alerts from the Dakotas to Montana, all the way across the northern tier of states, from the upper Midwest to the Great Lakes to the north and east. Look at this snowfall. The majority of it, that bullseye right in the middle of the country in the Midwest, Madison, Wisconsin, Chicago, Illinois, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Minneapolis, down to St. Louis and Kansas City, anywhere from 2 to 3 to 4 inches of snow in most spots. But folks, In the middle of that bullseye, Chicago, Cedar Rapids could see 6 to 8 inches of snow when it's all said and done on Monday. And of course, travel is going to be very tricky come Saturday and Sunday, the busiest travel days of the year, the days after Thanksgiving. The worst travel delays on Saturday, right in the middle of the country, Minneapolis, O'Hare, St. Louis, Kansas City. Once we get into Sunday, the true busiest travel day of the year, look at these. Airport delays start to pop up, major delays in Minneapolis, O'Hare, and then you start to see those airport delays stack up by Sunday night across the East Coast. This big-time winter storm having more impacts than just the snowfall and rainfall. Lots of travel delays are expected Saturday and Sunday.
As holiday shopping ramps up, Amazon is turning to thousands of AI-powered robots to keep up with demand. Spectrum's Katie Streit is taking you to the United Kingdom, where the future of fast delivery is already in full swing.
These are the robots driving Amazon's holiday rush. Inside the Man 3 Fulfillment Center in Bolton, England, more than 2,000 autonomous machines glide beneath towering shelves, lifting and carrying them directly to workers. The fleet moves in every direction at once, a coordinated system designed to cut out the time humans would spend walking long distances.
In a normal warehouse environment, you have to walk to a shelf. And this does the reverse. The shelf comes to you, so it makes it much quicker, much easier.
Every incoming item is scanned, sorted into a tote, and routed by an automated conveyor system. When a robot brings a storage pod to a station, AI maps out available slots and highlights exactly where a worker should place the item.
We use computer vision, machine learning, and AI to then highlight and identify areas on each of those storage pods, and that allows a much easier process and saves someone hunting around for the space.
The site spans more than 1 million square feet, about 14 soccer fields, with about 15 miles of conveyor belts moving goods from goods in to packaging.
Only in the last few years have we really passed this inflection point where the automated warehouses are meaningfully more efficient than the human warehouses.
Orders here are picked, packed, and shipped in under 2 hours, hundreds of thousands of times a day. And Amazon is also training a new generation of robotics engineers.
Robotics is here to help us, and it's a tool to aid us, and we're getting the parcels out the door faster than ever.
With the holiday shopping season here, Amazon boosts inventory and adds temporary staff. Eating shipping labels are applied by Airjets and monitored by AI. Analysts say shoppers this season are focusing more on essentials and modest gifts, and Amazon isn't the only one using AI tools to meet holiday delivery needs. UPS is exploring AI humanoid robots with tech company Figure AI. Katie Streit, Spectrum News.
Crocodiles at a Tennessee zoo received a very special Thanksgiving treat. Take a look at this crocodile jumping to feast on a large turkey that was lowered into its enclosure. The zoo says it provides both crocodiles named Miguel and Rose turkeys as a seasonal treat, while also giving them a chance to show off their natural leaping abilities, as you just saw. Cuban crocodiles are able to leap 6 feet from the water to capture their prey. Pretty cool. I'm Robert Squadarama. Thank you so much for watching. We sure appreciate you. We're always here for you at Spectrum News. Your News at 90 is up next. We'll be right back.
Friday nights, The Big Deal with Errol Lewis, where Spectrum News' local political journalists break down the most important issues shaping our nation.
Here's the deal. People need a place to explore national issues that have an impact on their community. To understand those issues better, we're bringing together our team of local political journalists from across the country to break down what's happening. So join us every week to catch up on the key stories making a big difference across the nation and in your local community.
Watch The Big Deal with Errol Lewis Friday nights at 9 Eastern, 8 Central on Spectrum News Plus. Available on all of your favorite devices exclusively on Spectrum.
It's only a slice. It's It's only made possible by Spectrum, connecting businesses of all sizes, like small businesses, instantly serving up orders and inventory on the Spectrum Fiber broadband network. And factories, seamlessly connecting to farmers in the field with tailored solutions that always deliver. It's only a slice, it's only everything. Get your business free fiber-powered internet forever. Call to find out how.
Weather can be beautiful, inconvenient, and at times powerful. And it affects everything we do. At Spectrum News Plus, our weather experts update you with the information and the context you need so you can better plan your day. And we do it every 10 minutes. We're the calm in the storm. Weather on the Ones on Spectrum News Plus, exclusively on Spectrum. And get your weather anytime on the Spectrum News app. Spectrum News Plus. Local stories, connecting communities. Streaming now on the Spectrum